Hey everyone, my name is Kajal and today we are in conversation with Athena on how to have experience when you don't have experience. She talks about her journey on how she created her own experiences through side projects that eventually led to a job at Microsoft as a PM. She also talks about some other ways you can get experience or how to reframe your past experiences for the job that you are applying. Lastly, we answer the question, should you attend hackathons? All of this coming up. Why don't we start with an introduction?
Hi, I'm Athena. I'm currently a product manager at Microsoft. I previously had no PM experience. However, I didn't let that stop me. I'm so glad that I create the learning experience myself and managed to get into Microsoft without former PM internship or job experiences. So I'm really excited to share my tricks and advice for all of you. I actually don't need to be in a company or in an organization to learn something. If I want to learn something, I just watch YouTube videos, read books, and create side projects myself. A good example I give is that, so I work at Harvard computer science department before, and they have very famous online course called CS50. However, that course is not popular in China because YouTube is not accessible and there's no like Chinese subtitles. I proposed to the team that, okay, why don't we recruit volunteers and then translate it into Chinese so that like millions more online learners can benefit from it. However, the team said they tried it for like past 3 years for Arabic, Russians, and Spanish, but like their completion rate is like 5%. So it's not realistic to have like, volunteers translate 200,000 words into another language. After I left the team, I still have this strong conviction that, okay, I know this is challenging, but if I'm able to pull this off, it would benefit so much more people. So I started to recruit volunteers, and then together we translate the whole course into Chinese for a year. And as we were building this, as we were translating the subtitle, we came to realize that, okay, even if we have the education resources, we still need users or like learners. So we start to create online learning communities and also build our own website because we need some place to host our translated course materials. And then I start to recruit engineers, designers to build our website together. And I just naturally becomes the product manager of my team. I was leading this project while looking for full-time jobs. So I was reading product management books and also practice mock interview questions. I would take what I've learned from the books and into our side project. And I will also like ask engineers and designers feedback who are already working full time. I will say like, is that how you run, how a product manager in your company run this meeting? So this project really helps me to stand out from the crowd in my product management interview because it shows that I had the initiative to lead a year-long project. I also learned how to like create something out of nothing because we have no budget. This is maybe one of the biggest reasons why I was hired by Microsoft.
You can also contribute to open source projects because one of the challenges with working with your own project is you have to come up with the problem statement, you have to come up with the ideas. However, here someone's already working on the project of their own and you're contributing to it, and there are a lot of open source communities out there. And then again, reach out to the community for help.
I actually have a good story about this technique. When I work at a CS50 team, there is someone from Egypt who works as a software engineer in the team. And the way how he gets started is, so he previously was an accounting or business major, but he was really interested in computer science. So he just started like looking for online materials and found CS50. He benefited so much, so he wants to like return the courtesy back to the community. So he started to answer questions in the community. And because CS50 also developed their own open source project, like education tools project. So he started to contribute to their projects. And gradually, because he became like so involved in the community and also in the open source project, CS50 just officially just recruit him. This really shows that if you're willing to put into the work, you may be surprised how many amazing opportunities will be out there. okay, let's say there's no way you can actually do some baby project to get that experience, maybe because you need computing power or you need a lab, then think hard about like your past experience and reframe your past experience into the new ones. Example I can give is when I was working as a business consulting intern at Deloitte, I made a lot of like cold calls to like potential buyers and also conducted like interviews to understand their like needs. This doesn't seem applicable to be a product manager. If I rethink about it in the context of the PM world, then cold calling potential buyers like market research, and then interviewing potential buyers like user interview, and analyzing the research findings is part of the user research. It's still the same experience, but I'm just using a different type of language that is more applicable to the new ones. If you feel like there's some experience that's not applicable, think harder. Even if the content or the project itself is not applicable, maybe the quality you demonstrate or the skills it requires are applicable.
It is a good place to start, but if you're going there, then bring that project back home and then continue to work on it. Because if you try to show 1 day worth of experience, it doesn't count for a lot.
Well, I agree that hackathon alone isn't a lot of experience. It's a great way to get started, especially hackathon, there usually be judges, mentors, and people who are more advanced. When you're immersed in the hackathon atmosphere, you feel so much more motivated to learn something. For example, I would just procrastinate on learning, taking an online course or doing YouTube tutorials. But once I'm in a hackathon and my teammates are relying on me to get things done, I feel so much more motivated to learn something really quickly and also to apply what I learned into the practice. So yeah, definitely recommend hackathons, maybe as a good starting place.
So that is all from the both of us today. Thank you very much, Athena, for joining us and giving all these wonderful examples and your own experience on how to get experience when you don't have experience. She is a wonderful Medium writer. She posts a lot of articles on Medium about how to get experience, project management, even some technical topics. I will include it all in the description below. Do check it out. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe.